Hi, my YouTube family and friends. I am so excited to do this video. Welcome to Gretchen's Guidance. It is day 29, and I am going to be telling you what my purpose is and what God has revealed to me. I am so thankful that I have been telling my friends about this. I also want to wish you love and blessings today. I hope that you're practicing humility and you're getting blessed by it, and you can see that it works, because it works. I promise. I'm so thankful I've been telling friends about this journey process, because it's almost unbelievable for me. And so I'm almost glad that I have them, that they could vouch for me that this is true and this is really happening this way. So it is day 29. I had in my mind that my next video series was going to be what my purpose is and how I developed that purpose. And, that I was going to talk about on day 29, I was going to talk about humility and pride some more, and day 30, and then kind of talk about what my next steps were going to be. That's what my plan has been in my mind for the last few days. Okay. Well, but even though it's day 29, it's like God is in sync with me. I know exactly what He wants me to do. And I'm actually going to reveal my purpose on here in this series. And it just so happens that it's day 29 and day 30, which is a sign to me the Lord is at work. And you know what? That is probably hard for you to believe. If I was watching someone on YouTube tell me this, it would be hard for me to believe them. All I can say is I'm speaking truth. And it is day 29. And as of this morning, God revealed my purpose to me. All right, so jump back. Jump back with me to, let's see, my daughter was 16. No, my daughter was 15. She's 22. So that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago, we had a family counselor. His name is Dr. Chad Constantino. Through the Abundant Life Counseling Center in Connersville. And he was amazing to my family. My family loves him and respects him and always will. He's just an amazing Christ follower. So we started marriage counseling there. And then we loved him so much, we took each of our kids there. So not only did he help do marriage counseling, he also did family counseling. So my daughter was going through a really tough time. My older daughter, she was 15, and it was pretty bad. She was going through a lot of emotional things. And so she was going to see Dr. Chad, and he had told us about a Kingdom Identity Mirror. And what this is he gave her one and told her to make it. And what it is it's a mirror. And you write down your identity in Christ. So God has given us an identity in Scripture, okay? And Dr. Chad was amazing to find this, and he has written it down on a mirror, okay? The mirror is important because the mirror is referenced a lot in the Bible, where the mirror, if you look in the mirror, is where you can see to your soul, your spirit. So the mirror is important because if you look in the mirror, and you're going to understand this. I know this probably sounds confusing, but if you look in the mirror when you're doing the kingdom identity practices, then it actually goes into your spirit. It goes past the flesh, which is what makes you do bad, right? And goes to your spirit, what resets you and makes you do good. Okay, so that's why the mirror is so important in this process. I have gone to Dr. Chad. Okay, wait. This is like a lot going on with this journey process in my mind. So let me slow down, Lord. Slow me down, Lord. Okay. So he gave this to my daughter and told her to make it. So she made the Kingdom Identity Mirror. She hung it up in her room, and she would use it, and it really helped her with her anxiety and things that she was going through. Okay. And I saw that transformation in her. And so therefore, I shared it with some people at work. I've worked at 3 different schools being a teacher. And at my first 2 schools that I ever worked at, I started a Bible study at both of those schools. And so the second school that I started a Bible study at is when I had this Kingdom Identity Mirror, and I shared it with the people in that Bible study so that and I told them to take a picture of it so they could make them for their daughters or sons or people in their lives that are struggling. And Dr. Chad knows of someone who was actually suicidal and used this mirror to help heal him. So it has this amazing healing power in it. So from the moment that I learned of it, I've been wanting to share it, right? Okay, so, life gets busy, okay? And I've made myself one. I have written down my Kingdom Identity actually on a folder. I think I've shown it to y'all before because I read it. It just so happens to be here. I didn't know I was going to show you this. I read it before I go to bed and when I wake up in the morning, and I set it right by my mirror and I read it, okay? Because it is absolutely life-changing. And so, I've been using it, right? But one day I was taking a walk with my dog, like I always do. This was probably about a year ago. And the good Lord just starts putting into me how he wants me to get this mirror out in the world. I can actually see people, and I think I've shared this on another video too. I can actually see people of different races looking in the Kingdom Identity Mirror and reading it all over the world and feeling the power of it and how transforming it is. Okay, so I'm like, okay, that's a lot of, I don't know what to do with that exactly, but Lord, I know that you're going to take care of it. So I immediately call Dr. Chad. I go see him. He has actually written a book that goes along with this process that he gave me a copy of. And he gave me his blessing. And I said, I really want your help with getting this out there because I know that you can help me. And he gave me his blessings, and hopefully he will still do that somehow. I've been trying to get in touch with you, Dr. Chad, and you won't answer your phone. But anyway, so I do have his blessings on sharing this. And so he basically, we both prayed about it, right? Well, life gets busy. I have this nagging feeling on me to get this mirror out, but I have no idea how, right? And so I've been talking about it to my friends. I've been trying to figure it out. I've been asking God for wisdom. And then all of a sudden the stuff happens with work, and my health is not good while I'm in that workplace where I'm working at now. I have to have a life change. Then it gets more and more bigger. And then, it's to where he wants me to get on YouTube and tell about it. And I didn't want to do that because I'm an introvert. And then it's just got, like my first video, he was literally pounding it on my brain to get onto YouTube. It was like, and I'm introverted. And so that was extremely hard. Okay. So God has been at work. Now I can tell you that for the past 3 days, and I told you God's been really quiet here lately. For the past 3 days, I hope that somebody knows what I'm talking about, okay? But for the past 3 days, I have been very, I want to say depressed. I have been very sad. I have not wanted to eat. I have, all right, I'm going to be real, y'all. I'm a real person. I can't help it. Yesterday, I had so much gas that my kids were like, Mom, they can vouch for it, that I had more gas than I have ever had, and I wasn't even eating much. So I don't understand. I was drinking a bunch of water. So it's just, I have felt so weird. I have never felt like this before. I actually got on the couch yesterday and took a nap. I was exhausted, okay? I felt like I was coming down with something, but today I woke up different, okay? So last night, before I went to bed, or when I was getting ready for bed, the good Lord said, good job, you've just died of yourself. And that's how I have felt. I have felt like the old me for the past few days has been dying. And so it's kind of like the take up your cross and follow me. I feel like I have been living that. I feel like when I did my devotional this morning and prayed, I put my hands out and I was praying and I waved goodbye to me. And I walked off and I was like, goodbye, Gretchen. I don't feel like it's being born again per se, because I've always known God was there, but something transformative happened to me to where my old self died and my new self is here. I can tell you how it feels. It feels like I can conquer the world. It feels like I have absolutely no fears. It feels like God is no longer separate from me, that I'm walking in step with him and we are together. I don't feel as much as I need to sit down separately and pray. I feel like I'm living with him, in step with him. It's just very different. It's very joyful. It's very amazing. Okay. And so, the Lord woke me up with very specific instructions this morning of what to do. Had it laid out. I've been praying for this over a year. Had it laid out for me. Laid out for me of what I need to do. Okay? And it's interesting because when you read the Bible, and especially when I was reading about Moses, God gives very significant instructions when he's talking to his people. It makes me think of when I was a kindergarten teacher, and I would say, put your name on your paper, complete your morning work, color your morning work, put it in the basket. Okay, and of course, kindergartners needed a lot of help with those simple directions, right? There was a lot going on teacher, student-wise within the process of that. Put your name on your paper, do your morning work, color your work, put it in the basket. I had a finished work basket, okay? So that sounds simple, right? But let's say if a child did their work, but they didn't put their name on their paper and they put it in the basket. Okay, so you know what I did after lunch? After lunch, I would take that basket, and whoever was finished with their morning work, I'd flip through it. Whoever was finished with their morning work got to go to Free Choice Centers. And I'm going to tell you what, those kindergartners, they loved Free Choice Centers. Okay, centers. I'm saying centers. Free Choice Centers. They lived for that. They did not want their free choice centers taken away. That was coloring with markers, playing in the kitchen, playing with the cars, building with the Legos, whatever it is they wanted to do, they got to choose that and do that with a friend. Or sometimes they like to do it alone. It just depended, okay? If they didn't have their name on their paper, then guess what? I didn't know whose paper it was, so I couldn't call their name to go to centers. So that usually only had to happen a couple times, and they learned that it was very important to put their name on their paper, or else I'm not going to call their name to go to Free Choice, right? So directions are very important, okay? But guess what? People don't follow directions. People like to do things their way. So those kindergartners that would come into kindergarten and they had their way all 5 years of their life with their mom and dad at home, just doing whatever they wanted to do. When they came to kindergarten, they had a hard time doing things through directions, right? They would really struggle with that. Did it make them a better person once they learned how to follow directions? Yes. Did some kids never learn how to follow directions because they were too rotten? Not usually. Usually they figured out how to follow directions to get the rewards of friendships and spending time with friends and doing things they wanted to do. It's the same thing that God does to us. He gives us very specific directions that we have to follow, and we can't do it our own way, right? Or else it's not blessed. It's not going to be as good. We're not going to have Free Choice Centers if we don't do it His way, right? Just like the kindergarten students didn't have Free Choice Centers if they didn't do the directions that I told them. So it's the same thing. So Moses, he told Moses specifically what directions to follow in the Bible, right? With Pharaoh and with his people, he gave him very specific directions, okay? And I used to relate to that as a teacher, that it's so important that you follow directions. So guess what? I woke up this morning and God has very specific directions for me today, okay? So here they are. Okay, so number one, he wanted me to do day 28 about humility. Okay, he wanted me to do that video. Number two, I can't eat until I finish these videos. Number three, I was able to take a shower, but I couldn't wash my hair because he wanted me to hurry and make these videos. So the internet's been out. Okay, and I've been on the phone with Spectrum on and off. It keeps going in and out, but guess what? God's going to fix that. That I didn't really know about that, but I know the enemy's trying to work, but it ain't going to work. Okay, I'm still going to get these videos out. Okay, he told me here to tell the story of the Kingdom Identity Mirror. All right. Then he told me on video 30, I'm going to show you all the Kingdom Identity Mirror, and I'm going to tell you how it works. Okay, so that's what this next video is. He told me exactly how to make them, because I have, my daughter has a Kingdom Identity Mirror. I have this one that I have put by the mirror. It's just on a folder. My daughter Bella has one. Okay, I guess I need to make my son one. Goodness gracious. But my daughter Bella has one, but he also wanted me to make some other ones as well. So I have done that, okay? And I'm going to show you how to use those, okay? And that is what my purpose is, okay? And what I'm hoping is that this Kingdom Identity Mirror gets out there and it transforms lives. That's what I'm hoping. And it allows people to feel God and Jesus, and it changes people's lives like it has changed mine. Okay? And so I'm not really sure how this is going to go. All I know is that God said no links, because I was going to create a link for you to, if you wanted to order one, he said no links. So he gave me very specific instructions on what to do with getting the Kingdom Identity Mirror out. And I will share that with you on the next video when I'm sharing the Kingdom Identity Mirror. I do want to have people help me make these so that we can pray together as we're making them. Because it says in the Bible, if you pray with 2 or more people or 1 or more people, it's more powerful. So I know I have instructions for that as well. And so I am going to come back and show y'all the Kingdom Identity Mirror and how to use them. And I'm so excited that I found my purpose. And y'all have gone along with me. I had no idea. I did not know it was going to happen like this. Day 29. It's legit. Okay, and I'm going to hurry and get my Kingdom Identity Mirrors and show them to you because I want to eat. I'm hungry. Okay, so I will be back with day 30 in just a few minutes. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching and stir up love.